can count on a Mario game to A, be charming and probably quite good, and B, not cause you psychological harm. Right? Sadly, upon further investigation, only one of these can be counted on. Because while for 99.99% of the time Mario games are adorable and warm-hearted, there is sadly a 0.01% where games featuring Nintendo's flagship, family-friendly plumber are suddenly, from nowhere, extremely distressing. Oh no! My brain! I'm not supposed to get distress in it! And these Mario games were never supposed to creep us out quite so thoroughly.
You know Bowser, and you know he's no stranger to going in lava. It happens to him constantly. I assumed he liked it. It's a fair assumption. Bowser's a fire-breathing lizard, he fills his castles with lava, so you have to assume he's pretty comfortable with the stuff and that it doesn't actually do him any harm when he's plunged into it. That's until 2006's New Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo DS, where Bowser appeared, unsurprisingly, as the boss of World 1's final castle. More surprising, and dare we say distressing, however, is what happens when he goes in the lava this time. Ah, all his skin and organs melted off. And what does Mario have to say for himself? That's so nice. You think you know someone? We're not sure what's worse, seeing Bowser have all his skin melted off, or the knowledge that this presumably was also happening every prior time Bowser got dunked in the hot stuff. We just weren't unlucky enough to see it. This skinless form of Bowser is called Dry Bowser, which sounds like a name for a nice cocktail, but it isn't. It's the name given to Mario character Bowser when he's had all his skin and organs burned away. Dry Bowser returns, presumably in agony, as another boss encounter later in the game. This time there's no lava to dunk him in, you just smash his skull and bones apart. Well, I'm glad you're having fun, Mario. You weirdo.
In terms of the population of the Mushroom Kingdom, it's the princess, some dinosaurs, and a whole bunch of toads. Oh, and some girl toads. But that wasn't always the case. Before Bowser came in and took over, there used to be way more people living here, and way fewer turtles throwing hammers. But where are they? Well, the games themselves don't offer an explanation for why this kingdom has so few residents, but one can be found in the official Super Mario Bros. NES strategy guide, How to Win at Super Mario Bros. A strong title that does not warn of the horrors within. Before the guide gives you any gaming tips, it gives you a bit more backstory to the world you're about to explore, seeing as the game just kicks you into the first level with zero context. It tells us about how lovely and peaceful and sunny the Mushroom Kingdom was, how the Koopa invaded, led by Bowser, and how Bowser's black magic turned all the mushroom people into stones, bricks, and even horsehair plants. Nintendo, I know you're busy, but you've got to read the stuff you officially license. Nothing can prepare you for the discovery that much of the architecture and plant life that you explore in the game, much like Soylent Green, is actually made from people. Especially since you've spent a lot of time running around as Mario doing this. Is that murder? Who knows? We're certainly trying not to think too hard about it. Except we are thinking too hard about it, because the guide never specifies if the mushroom people were killed as they were turned into masonry. So, for all we know, they could still be conscious in there as Mario smashes them into dust. I'm gonna vote already dead, just so I can sleep at night.
Everyone knows Mario games are full of secret, hidden areas, so I think it's a little rich that I got arrested just for climbing into a bin behind Toadstool Cafe at Super Nintendo World in Universal Studios. Mario Odyssey is just one of the many, many Mario games to be packed full of secret areas that you're only likely to discover by accident or with a walkthrough. But the Deep Woods area in the game's Wooded Kingdom has the singular distinction of being the only secret area that's also absolutely terrifying. When you fall into this deep, dark, overgrown area, accessed by falling seemingly to your death, your first surprise will be the total lack of music, as the deep woods are blanketed in an eerie silence. It's impossible to peer very far into the murky darkness, but with seemingly nothing else to do, you stride purposefully onwards. After all, this is a Mario game. It's not like anything horrible is going to happen. Unless you think it's horrible for Mario to be run down by a roaring photorealistic T-Rex. Oh, you do? Oh, everyone does. Oh, I see. It's impossible to know what was going through Nintendo's mind when they decided to add a secret area to cartoonish platformer Mario Odyssey that was just a terrifying wood patrolled by a single furious Tyrannosaur. But we sure wish they hadn't, because this hidden zone is one that has caught many players entirely off guard with its tonal whiplash, and also with its furious Tyrannosaur. Sadly, being chased by the T-Rex isn't even the worst part of the Deep Woods, because it's much more unnerving to simply creep around the edges of this secret zone, looking for hidden moons, all the while hearing the dinosaur's distant, thudding footsteps as it searches for you. So much so that it's almost a relief when you're once more running for your life. The key word there being almost.
If films and cartoons are to be believed, pianos have been the cause of a fair few deaths, but it's not their fault. It's usually because they're hanging from cranes and accidentally fall on someone, often due to human error. But in Super Mario 64, when you stumble across a grand piano in Big Boo's haunt, you quickly discover that this piano has every intent to murder Mario. The mad piano is certainly very angry with our small Italian plumber friend getting all up in its space, and there's no way to fight it off, as it takes zero damage from any of Mario's flailing hits or butt stomps. In fact, should Mario get anywhere near it, it'll just bite off a chunk of his health with its huge teeth. Yamaha, more like Yamaha. Wait. Steinway and Sons, more like Canine-Way and Sons.
No, stop, please!
Berzendorfer, more like Berzenskorfer.
What the hell is Berzendorfer?
A respected piano maker. Look, if you play piano, this is all gold. Fazioli, more like ravioli, with Mario in it.
Oh, God.
Sadly for Mario, in order to collect a special red coin being guarded by the piano, he must put his little blue denimed butt on the line, luring the piano out and then nipping in behind it. But hey, at least that's the weirdest thing in this haunted manor. I mean, what else are they going to put teeth in? Books? HarperCollins? More like... Wait, I've got one. Sharper... Wait, don't go. More like...
Please, can I go?
No.
It's not easy being a Toad, where the best you can hope to achieve in your life is deflecting an attack in Smash Brothers that would have hit your princess. And Peach thanks you for your service. Send a fruit basket to the widow. But if that's the best outcome, we hesitate to even mention the worst thing that can happen to a Toad. And we wouldn't have to mention it at all if the Nintendo DS spin-off RPG Mario and Luigi Partners in Time hadn't imprinted the horrible knowledge permanently on our brains. The game involves Mario and his brother, whose name I forget, having to travel back in time to stop an evil gang of aliens called the Shroobs from ever having invaded the Mushroom Kingdom. These Shroobs are a classic Mario spin-off enemy in that they're pretty cute, albeit evil, will rarely if ever be spotted in a Mario game after this one, and are not going to do anything terribly upsetting. You'd think. Au contraire, the Shroobs' plan is to steal the Vim, or life force, from Toads to power their spaceships. And for reasons we'll never understand, this is visually represented in the game by Mario and his cohorts finding a whole forest of Toads who've had their bodies horribly grafted into trees, like the xenomorph victims stuck to the wall in Alien. The horrifying reality of Toadwood Forest is explained by Toadico here, who only gets partway through detailing the grim nature of the soul-sucking Shroob factory before said aliens show up in their spacecraft and nuke her from orbit. Nobody at Nintendo or any of its developers is allowed to watch any more Alien movies, okay? Watching Toadico die is weird enough, but then you have to walk all the way through Toadwood Forest and try not to pay too much attention to how many of the trees contain the sucked dry remains of toads whose life force has been drained away. I'm sorry, weren't these games about jumping? I feel like we lost track of that somewhere.
As we've already seen, the Mario RPG games aren't afraid to both introduce bucket loads of new characters to the Mario canon and get a little weird with it. That's how we end up with Mimi, an angular oddball encountered by Mario on his quest through Wii title Super Paper Mario. Mimi, at first, appears to be a fairly normal, if irritable, maid, who's all about giving visitors to her lady's mansion directions and just loving life in late-stage capitalism. Mimi isn't all she seems, however, which is why in the year of our Lord 2023, I have to give the disclaimer that you're about to see footage of the bit in Super Paper Mario where this cutesy character, in a decidedly un-Mario moment, snaps her own neck. Okay, you've been warned. Roll footage. Ugh. That was probably one of the creepiest things I've ever seen in a video game. Still, I assume that's the worst of it, so I'll just resume the clip now. This is Mimi's true form, which regrettably, as you've already seen, is a spindly, revolting, screen-filling spider. Ew. Worse news, Mimi is going to show up at several more points throughout the game, at intervals calculated to be the exact time it takes to convince yourself you must have imagined it. Don't worry though, despite having left an indelible mark on our psyches, the hideous secret spider Mimi actually comes good in the end in this emotional scene. Literally nobody from Mario is in this scene. What is happening? Is this the right disc?
No, oh, look!
The Strikers series of Mario sports games introduce a sport that is basically football, but a little edgier. How so? Well, for instance, in a slight deviation from the Football Association rules, sometimes Bowser appears to f*** everyone up a little. It also features the use of slow-motion power shots, something outlawed by most governing bodies, and a high-power electric fence surrounding the pitch, something we have to assume FIFA officials wouldn't regard as permissible, unless they were paid a lot of money to do so. Did we do it? Did we do a football satire?
I think we did it.
Hot dog! That electrified fence is also the source of a surprisingly distressing Mario moment. See, if a character gets forced into that fence, they'll be shocked temporarily, which could be considered a bit scary, but don't worry, all the voice actors got the memo and as such play their characters being electrocuted in a way that makes clear it's just a bit of cartoonish fun. All the voice actors, that is, except Peach's. who, when forced into the electrified fence, issues forth a pained cry that is wildly, wildly not in keeping with the rest of the game, or indeed the rest of the Mario universe, and that has haunted us for the nearly 2 decades since Super Mario Strikers was released. Think we're exaggerating? See for yourself. Oh my god! I think Peach just died for real. You'd be forgiven for thinking so. We've no idea how such a horrifying, gut-wrenching scream ended up in the game, except that there must have been no opportunity to get an alternative take, because upon hearing this agonised guttural bellow, the engineer in the voice booth quit their job to go live on a mountain, in the desperate hope that through daily meditation they might someday, somehow, find the inner peace to not hear Peach's electrified scream echoing round their heads. Gonna need the address of that mountain.
Harper, Sharper.
Please, we need you to do the outro, Ellen.
And look, I've been thinking away, and it's gonna come out. It will happen. It'll happen. Hey, can you think of a pun on Harper Collins?
Please don't.
That's to do with teeth. Any publisher puns? Pop them in the comments below.
Don't feel the need to do that.
What about other creepy and spooky and downright disturbing moments from Mario games? Put those suggestions below, because we've had a lot of fun finding these and looking these up and writing silly things about them, so please share more with us. But if you enjoyed it as well, please give us a thumbs up, please subscribe. If you want to support us even further, we have a lovely Patreon. There's a link on screen and you can join our Discord, and it's super fun. And if you want just some more entertainment, we'll have some lovely videos up here for you. But in the meantime, Harper Molarins? No. I'll get there.